last couple days we've primarily had cutting videos just because it's been too wet to show equipment running or anything. But when I walked this timber and marked it, I specifically remember this big black oak tree here. And even on our Facebook feed yesterday, a lot of people comment like, well, I've never heard of black oak. Like, well, you know, this here in this part of Missouri, again, I always talk about this part of Missouri because it really is, Southwest Missouri is not we're not known for just producing quality timber. And I will be the first to tell you that as somebody that has logged his whole life, and my family's been in logging. Every now and then we get some jobs where we cut some quality timber like this, but this is black oak. This is not a true northern red. It looks similar to the lumber, and somebody got on the feed yesterday, and I apologize for not remembering your name. But yes, the lumber is all sold as red oak, whether it be black oak or red oak lumber, or logs producing the lumber is all sold as red oak. But these are actually black oak trees. There's some differences in the bark. I know I'm going to tell you this wrong, so I apologize in advance. There's differences in the bark. I don't remember all of it from my days of forestry class and FFA 20 plus years ago now, but the leaves I think are different as well to some degree. Anyway, usually the black oak is not this good in our area. This is cutting pretty like a true northern red, the color of these logs. These are what I cut yesterday at the end of the video. Like this guy here, I mean, that is as pretty as it comes for black oak. I mean, even for our part of the world, we don't get too much true northern red, but that would be just even like our true northern red. That's a good piece of wood right there. Look at that hinge. My gosh. The guy cutting this. Superb. Anyway, I hear Dad firing up the saw up there. So he's starting to buck. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to film cutting this big tree, and that'll probably be the only cut and film I do today. Today might be a shorter video than what we have done. So I'm going to try to put this thing right down here in this draw. I would like to try to shoot the gap between these two white oak, whether I can or not. Neither one of them is super good, you can see. So if I hit them, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'd still rather not. But I think that's the best place for this tree to go. Couldn't reach the heart. She sure cut good though. That is a pretty piece of wood. Like I said, I couldn't quite, with the flares on the stump, I couldn't quite reach the center, so we had a little fiber pull. So it didn't cut bad, just to clarify that, because you've always got the nitpickers that want to look at the bad in everything you do. So yeah, a pretty good piece of black oak here. Again, not what we call a true northern red, just a black oak. So actually changed directions on where I wanted the tree to go. I kind of moved my notch and hinge a little bit to the east. Of course, we just took that little white oak out, but it wasn't much count anyway. If you see the root system there, it wasn't a very healthy tree, and we hit a, oh, what is that down there we've hit? Hedge, mulberry, I don't know. We've hit something down there, some little scrubby tree. So all in all, a good place for this tree to go. We spared this other white oak here that's still not a real good white oak, but definitely didn't want to run the risk of taking out both of them. Try to minimize collateral damage when we can. So we're going to work our way back this direction. We got one or two more oak over here to cut. That big one you see kind of there in the middle, it's marked. We just, like I said, I went through here and did a tally on trees, painted everything myself, so I kind of knew what we wanted to take and what we wanted to leave. That way, just a light thinning, taking some of this older stuff, still leaving plenty of good sized trees, even like these white oak here, back up through there. Just that way it ain't just a total massacre of the timber. Now, as you guys know, we have a pretty good fondness for these H model skidders since buying this one. We hope to hear back about another pretty nice late model H machine. You know, 14 was the last year they made the H. I think it's either a 13 or 14. This one's a 13. We're hoping to add another one to our lineup here real soon. Of course, that's we're getting rid of our smaller, older machines. We can just do so much more with these big H series. That guy there is a blowdown. We're going to cut a log out of that. But I'm hung up down here and I could not get my saw out with my wedges. So we're going to improvise. It's already starting to shape up to be one of those days. I cannot run this thing left-handed. There it goes. I seen it fall out back there. Again, back to the H's. Just man, they're so versatile. For a long time I thought, because we had a 648 once and it was just big, and this is bigger than the D model was for sure, but anymore it just seems you can just do so much with them so much faster, and that's what we like about them. Of course, having the new Pitts low boy and the 379 moving them is not really an issue now, which at one time with that D model we had, it was an issue then. So I was hung up back here. I was trying to cut a log out of this, and that's where I got hung up. That's a healthy drag right here. Miraculously enough, we didn't have any trouble getting out of the woods with it. I figured we might find a soft spot, but we did not. So that's good. A lot of footage here. And still logs from the very top of it. I got to go back and get. Dad's blocking the road up here. It's been a pretty good Saturday all in all. I feel like we've been pretty productive. We've got a deck full of logs. We've done quite a bit of cutting. I wasn't ready to call it a day just yet, so I come back to do a little more cutting, try to get some of this good timber cut before Dad found his way back here to it. Luckily, I've walked the job and marked it, where Dad probably still knows the piece of property and all the timber better than I do from years of coon hunting and being on this place Lord knows how many times. But so we got into some pretty good white oak here. This one cut a little ornery, I say pretty good. We were doing good till we got to this guy here, but it's down here in the draw. back to that good stuff. Now, a big concentration to the walnut pretty much starts right here at the kind of the head of this long draw, goes down through here, or holler, some of you folks back east might call it. But those are just some of the jewels that are down through there. That one on the ground's a good tree. I hung that other one up. I was thinking I could swing it right out in here, but I failed. It just goes to show you not everything on YouTube's glamorous. We do make mistakes, although I don't always show all the mistakes, but there's one of them. But yeah, good walnut. I'm probably going to try to get those out before the end of the day. My log roads are just falling to pieces. I feel bad I'm even dragging like I am. We're already going to have to fix them anyway, so we might as well keep putting wood out, because we're going to be there fixing roads. Yeah, this white oak, I don't get to cut white oak very often, so to me, it's fun to get to cut this stuff. So I'm really taking it in. Now, don't get me wrong, I prefer cutting that walnut, but I do. I try to take in jobs like this that are just really good, enjoyable jobs. A lot of times I'll just find myself out here. I'll cut some trees. I'll just, like I said, sit back and take it all in and enjoy it. Because I know I'll never get to do it again, at least not like this anyway. We might get to do a regen harvest, but it won't be anything like what we're cutting now. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. My Saturday's been good. Hopefully tomorrow's just as good as well. So see you tomorrow. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.